This Ear Biscuit is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform that makes it fast and easy to create your own professional website or online portfolio.
For a free trial and 10% off your first purchase, go to squarespace.com and use the offer code R&L. That's R-A-N-D-L.
Listen, here's the deal. You need a website, and you need to just make it yourself because it's just simpler that way now that there is Squarespace. But B, you need a website that looks good. You don't want a crappy website.
Well, no, but some people do. That's the thing. There is a movement out there of people trying to make purposely crappy, cheesy websites.
But Squarespace cannot do that.
Right, they're not going to help with that. This is for the people who want a nice looking website. Somebody that you want something unique. You don't want something that looks like some template somewhere. That's the thing. They've got all these designs that you can start with in styles, but all these options to make it totally customized, totally unique, and you cannot make it look bad. You can try. We challenge you. Try it. It won't happen. It's still going to look good. If you but your website, hey Ralph, your website looks good. If your name is Ralph, that was for you, Ralph.
And hopefully Ralph.com's not taken, or that you have it.
It probably is.
Squarespace can help you with that. Start a trial without a credit card required. Start building your website today, and then when you do decide to sign up for Squarespace, make sure you use our offer code R-A-N-D-L, R&L, to get your 10% off your first purchase and to show your support for Ear Biscuits.
Right, it's a great way to show support for the show. Again, thanks to Squarespace for the support of Ear Biscuits.
Okay, let's make another Ear Biscuit. Welcome to Ear Biscuits. I'm Link.
And I'm Rhett. We do this every week, an up-close and personal conversation with somebody interesting from the internet.
All right, this week, you've been asking for him, so we finally got him to come in here. Toby Turner, Tobuscus, one of the most prolific and successful YouTube creators out there.
And I gotta say, we got inside of his head a little bit.
That sounds like we were messing with him. I think we just gained an understanding.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to make it seem even a little bit more tantalizing than it actually was.
Yeah.
It was a great conversation. We learned about his creative process. We hear the story about how he found this enormous YouTube success and how he's found his distinct comedic voice.
Well, we also discuss how he's managing his personal life, kind of getting that side of things. We might have even discussed some high-profile past YouTube relationships.
But before we get into that, I do want to talk about an interesting experience we had here in the studio recently. You may have seen our video that we released on our main channel that featured some naked Russian men. This is the first time that we have. I wouldn't say it's the first time that we've included nakedness in our videos.
Well, you were naked and wrote some bacon on it.
Again, it was apparent nakedness. There was some bacon over some important parts.
Yes, and you, for the record, you were not naked underneath the bacon.
Correct, and I gotta say, we made it look very much like these Russian men were naked, and they indeed were also not naked. But I've gotta say that this is not a normal part of a Rhett and Link video shoot to have basically naked people on set.
I would like for us to process this. We haven't really talked about it, but yeah, I think that I didn't know if I wanted to talk about this. It's one of those things, well, maybe if I don't talk about it, it never happened.
Well, once it's a YouTube video, it's,
No, I mean, just the vibe on set, because I know what you're going to talk about, but you can tell them. You can tell them what happened. And I may be building it up too much.
Well, it's interesting how it came together, because we originally came up with the idea that we would have a couple of Russian men in a banya. We would have turned the bathroom into a banya, a traditional Russian bath. And so we steamed it up. Actually, it looked like steam, but it was actually a fog machine that we put in the bathroom. And we had these two men who we got through just the casting process. One of the cool things about being out here in LA is that there are all these people out here who are just actors, just waiting to be in a role, and you go through sites like LA Casting, or sometimes you might use Craigslist. And so you find all these people who submit for a role. So when you use a casting website, Stevie helped us with this, you put a call out there for an older man who looks Russian, and then all of a sudden you have like 50 people submit for this role, and then we're going through these things saying, okay, who looks the most Russian? And I mean, we can't see anything but like their headshot.
Yeah,
but,
we didn't ask him to send nude pics to us.
Right. But in the description, we do say, will appear to be naked, not actually appear naked, but appear to be naked in this video. So people like put in these little notes like, I've done something like this before. I don't know what that means.
We don't want to know.
But all I know is that these two guys showed up. I think Richard and Alan. I can't remember. One of them was named Alan. They show up.
Boris and
Yakov is what we named them on set. These guys show up, and we're shooting.
They were already naked.
We're shooting part of the video, and then they're out in the lobby waiting to kind of come in. And Stevie comes in and like they're ready. And so I go out there to the lobby, and I see one of them has a robe on, and the other guy is just in a shirt and his underwear. Like he did not come prepared. He did not have a robe. So there's this older man, and I'm not just talking underwear. He had on bikini briefs, essentially, is what he had to have on.
Well, we gave him those.
Oh, we did. Okay, those were supplied.
He was probably in the buff
and
buck naked before that.
And I got to admit that it was a little awkward for me because I shook both of their hands.
Well, you're not supposed to make eye contact with the crotch when shaking their hand. I saw you.
You weren't even in there.
Okay. But I did think about that. I was like, don't look at his underwear. Look at his face when you shake his hand.
Well, I got to be honest with you. I didn't have any trouble with that.
Well, it wasn't like I desired it, but there's just something about
it's like looking directly into the sun.
Right. It's just...
you shouldn't. Right. So, but the funny thing is we shot the little scene with them in the bathroom, and then we had to break for lunch.
And I simulated nakedness at that point too, by the way.
You did.
And I was literally standing 2 feet from these guys. It looks like I'm further in the shot, but in the room, I had on pants. I had on yoga pants.
Yeah, you did. Well, you had on the pants, the ice dancer pants.
The ice dancer pants, and they were very tight, and I didn't have anything else on. I was shirtless.
But the thing, the moment that it hit me,
awkward
how
to me.
awkward this whole thing was during the lunch break when I come downstairs and they've got the food out and everybody's eating, and I see the one guy in the robe, and I thought, okay, that makes sense. This guy's got the briefs on underneath there. But then I see the other dude,
Boris.
And he has on just a shirt, and he's just in his briefs.
He
going
just,
through the buffet line.
All he did was put a T-shirt back on.
Right.
It's like, dude, don't you know that T-shirt doesn't even cover your whole belly?
Right.
It doesn't cover your briefs, dude.
But
and didn't you drive here with pants on? I mean, he could have easily put on pants to eat lunch. I just don't wonder why he didn't.
I think,
and then he was just lounging around.
It comes down to just a comfort level. He made a decision that he was going to be comfortable in his own skin, literally,
and not much more.
And I got to admit that
I think it comes down to age.
You really think so? He just says like, screw it, I'm old, who cares?
Once you're an old guy, I mean, just think about those old professors at NC State. You'd go work out in the gym, you go to people just walking around naked everywhere because they're old. This is why put clothes on? You're old. You've seen it all.
But I got to say that personally, I really enjoy being naked. There are even times where, I have a fenced-in not fenced-in backyard, but like there's a wall. There's a wall around my backyard, and I can see out of it, and people who are passing by on the street can see my head because I'm so tall, right?
Yeah.
But they can't see the lower half of my body. So there are many times that I go out in the backyard and I think to myself, it's a beautiful California day. It's 73 degrees again today. I just want to be out here in the backyard naked. No one would know. Maybe a LA cop would fly over in a helicopter and see me, but who cares about that? There's no law against that. You can be in your backyard. And I can never bring myself to do it. I think about how glorious it would be to be in my natural state, just walking around in the backyard naked.
You actually think this?
Yeah. And I never can bring myself to do it. Because I like the idea of it, but then I'm just uncomfortable with the reality of it.
Well, so you're saying that walled backyards are the gateway drug to nudist colonies. I mean, that's what's happening here.
No.
You're one high wall away from a nudist colonist.
But that's precisely why I don't do it, because I would enjoy it alone.
You say that, Rhett.
I would enjoy it alone.
Listen,
I would not enjoy being a part of a colony.
First of all, I'm not going to come in through that back gate again. I'm gonna just be calling you over the.
Always text me first.
Yeah, I'm gonna start texting you. Where are you gonna keep your phone?
Well, I mean,
if you're nude,
I'll hold it.
you're gonna get nude back there, and then it may be a few months, it may be a few years, but you're gonna be telling me and these kind listeners that you've slipped on the slippery slope of nudity.
Well,
and you are now you're a colonist of the nude zone.
I'm not worried about the nude colony. I'm worried about Google Maps. Okay, I'm worried about being naked on Google Maps.
Helicopter view.
And the helicopter. The technology is only going to get more advanced, and the cameras are going to get
satellite.
better.
You're not talking about street view. You're talking about satellite view.
Yeah. Street view doesn't make it into my backyard, but satellite view does. And be like, hold on. Of course, looking at me from straight on from right above me, I don't know how much you'd see. I don't want to go into any more detail on that. Anyway,
it's funny how I haven't done this before on an Ear Biscuit, but for some reason I was picturing Toby listening to this Ear Biscuit, and he's like, "Man, this is what you guys talk about before you had this conversation with me. We had such a good conversation, and then you tee it up with this near nakedness nude conversation."
It's all to set up a really forced analogy, and that is, I really feel like we stripped down Toby Turner on this week's episode of Ear Biscuits.
Well, mark my words. I mean, you're going to be there, and I'm not. I follow you and stepping into a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's okay, but this is not going to be one of those things.
Okay.
And
I told you I want to do it alone. Just me and Google Maps. Just me and the rest of the world.
Okay. Let's get on. Let's go on to the Toby thing.
Yeah, this is about Toby Turner. This is not about being naked. Toby, if you haven't heard of him before, he's currently the only YouTuber that claims 2 spots on YouTube's top 50 most subscribed channels list.
His most well-known series is his little trailers on his Tobuscus channel and also his popular parody songs. Plus, his gaming channel is amongst the top 5 in his category on YouTube with over 6 million subscribers.
Toby can also be seen in the leading role in Cartoon Network's The High Fructose Adventures of Annoying Orange.
Let's get into it.
Okay, last time that you came to this building, a very interesting thing happened.
There was like a mix-up on the location. Give us your version.
Well, I don't know if there was a mix-up as much as we just went into not your building. But also, what was happening? Like they were waiting for someone already, right? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
They were waiting for somebody, and they're like, "Oh yeah, right this way." I'm like, "Oh, great." So they took me to the back of the building, and they were doing a shoot, and then the director's like, Who's that?"
Right. So
and you're like, who are you? Where's Rhett?
I'm like, yeah, exactly.
Like,
you can ask that question.
We had a video shoot. This is how crazy it is. Okay, so we were shooting a video that you made a cameo in, and our address is a certain number in a certain road, but it has west. It is the west version of that road.
Yeah, I don't do
the same exact address without the west in it. Was also shooting a video on the same day at the same time, and when you came in there, they escorted you. You just thought this all worked out. I am at the Rhett and Link shoot. I'm here. I'm going to go to my chair.
I'm not sure it's that complicated. I think it might have actually been like kind of next door to you.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because because we walked across.
No, there's a hairstylist next door.
Well,
you were at the
it was
west.
walking distance, I thought. I don't know. I remember walking, and I don't do that a lot, so it stands out.
Okay. All right. Well, because there is a studio that has the exact same address without the west.
That must have been it. How far away is it?
It's maybe walking distance.
I think it's a couple of miles.
Oh, really?
Sprinting distance.
It's not Toby walking distance.
Quick. How do you know my walking
Well, you just said
potential?
You don't walk much.
Yeah, because I get there instantly.
You don't walk much because you sprint often, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
and it makes a better story if it was that other place.
Healy is what I do. You should know that by now.
I do. Now, by the time that this Ear Biscuit comes out, the depressing song will be up. But at this point...
When does this Biscuit of the Ear come out?
In a couple of weeks.
Okay, yep.
So we're a little bit ahead.
We were going to post it on today, but we ended up, I guess iTunes was a little slow to process I've never done the podcast thing, so it was our first podcast, and we submitted we wanted to push the podcast from the depressing song.
Got it.
Okay, because I was about to say the song is on iTunes now. The song is gone.
Live. As of like an hour ago. But since then, we instead cut up like a movie night thing.
That's how well researched this podcast is.
Nicely done.
Is that I know that the depressing song is on iTunes.
You are informing me.
So
iTunes is kind of tricky sometimes.
So we don't.
It's hard to get to.
So we don't know yet if we made the cut. We know we sent.
You can see it. I have.
We sent some video to you to make a cameo.
Oh, I know.
But we don't know if we're in the cut. Yeah, I didn't even know if you knew. It's just one of those things that
Does make the cut means made me cut you out?
No.
No, it's awesome. You guys are amazing in it. You should watch it. I could show you at some point.
Oh, a preview.
Okay,
If
so
you
we're in
need
it.
to. Yeah, you are in it.
And
Both
by
of
the
you.
time they listen to this, it's out.
Yeah, dude.
And people have experienced
Yep.
it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
They
exciting.
went through all the motions.
I like being
We're in the future
in
right
the
now.
present and the future at the same
Isn't
time.
that crazy?
That is something
Might
that
as well.
just intrigues me.
And the past, sort of.
Right,
a
because-
second later. Like you go to all 3 states at some point. See,
Yeah.
right now we're in the past. Or we were in the past.
Yep.
Not now, but
Yeah,
now.
when you started that
just
sentence,
before
you
now.
were.
Yeah.
Yeah, this can make it go crazy.
Oh,
So when you write a song, be it the depressing song or any other song, what's the process? What's the mechanism?
Well, depressing song is a parody.
What?
Did you know that?
Yeah, well, I listened to the sample on iTunes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? You heard the say something?
Say
right?
something.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't know.
It's a duet with
with my friend
F?
April, April F.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's fantastic. So we, I don't know how it came around because I was writing a unique, like some other thing that was original, and then I just, I was like, I want to write a really sad song, and then I started thinking about Say Something, which is freaking crazy sad.
Yes.
And I wrote, okay, so we were we were in Amsterdam like a year ago, me and Seth Hendricks. Who do you know him? We have the same jacket. We own the same jacket.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
Got
the
it.
one with the jacket. Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Wait, what? Are you serious? No. So we went to Amsterdam a year ago, and it was awesome. And it rained. Like, so the first couple of days it didn't rain, and everyone was amazed that it hadn't rained for
Why were you in
a few
Amsterdam?
days.
First of all,
Well, there was a meetup in London, and I was like, while we're in Europe, let's just go to a couple different popular
Another part of
things.
Europe.
Yes, all over it, as many places as we could. I don't know why he picked that. I mean, I do, but I don't. Because come on, it's Amsterdam. It's awesome. I almost got killed like twice, but it's the nicest place in the world. I'm just loud.
what do you mean? People
Well, I
wanted to
was
knife you?
vlogging in places where you shouldn't be vlogging.
Like where?
Red light district.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was.
Why
you have
can't
to go
you
see it.
vlog in front of prostitutes? I don't.
I know, and I was asking them while they had a submachine gun out, aimed at me. It was kind of awesome.
Is this a pimp situation coming up on you?
Well, it was like a BDU wearing pimp. That was a pimp that is in the woods sometimes, probably. Hopefully, it was wood color. It was not city colored BDU. Anyway,
I'm a little confused.
Good.
Okay, so you were in Amsterdam.
I was vlogging.
Vlogging.
It says no cameras. I'm like, this is a phone.
Oh,
And that didn't work.
The
That
old
joke didn't work.
phone camera thing.
Yeah. I was like, maybe they don't know that yet.
But you
And
survived.
they do. Yeah, I'm here. I lived. I didn't,
But you decided to write a
depressing
depressing
song.
song.
yeah. Okay. Here's one.
Yes.
Now we're gonna get there. So this guy was playing Mad World, and he had this huge PA system, and it was playing to everyone in this large area next to our hotel. And so I kind of like right then wrote this version of Mad World, which is it's an older song. It's great, but it's like. I wrote this song to make people feel bad, ruin your day. Anyway, so that was the idea. And so this one is, I wrote this song to make you depressed, which is just a...
I think that's my question. So what you're telling me is that you were just about town with your friend with the same jacket in Amsterdam, and you heard the song over a PA. And so you started singing.
I started seeing, So I started seeing everybody, and I was probably imagining it, but it was rainy, and everyone just looked so sad. And I was like, it's because he's playing freaking Mad World and broadcasting.
So you were vlogging.
Not at this time, no.
So this was.
I feel like I'm in court.
You were. Yeah, I'm like
Mr. Turner.
How many frames per second?
Yeah, I'm sorry
That's
for
because there's-
taking interrogation mode. I'm just fascinated by the
It's less like
how you would
court
write the
and
song.
more like a Senate hearing because there's two of us.
Oh, okay.
There's a panel.
No, I don't know anything about that. That's like, requires reading about stuff that happens.
political things. I guess what I'm interested in is the fact that you wrote this song extemporaneously in the same way that, like, when you're playing a video game and you start singing,
That's
I
kinda
can
how
swing my sword kind of thing. But you were doing that, you weren't doing it for your audience, quote. You were doing
No.
it for, like, your friends right there.
Yeah. It is weird. Okay, I don't know if you ever get to this point, but it's weird making a joke that you think is really funny when you're not recording.
Yes,
So
like, why is he
I'm
trying to be
wasting
funny?
That.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know, exactly.
Yeah,
but when
yeah,
you're
yeah.
hanging out with other, exactly. But I just want freaking people to laugh. But it does. I'm like, now I have to redo this later, and it's not going to be as genuine because I made it before. It's weird.
You wrote.
I get in my head.
The seeds of the depressing song were written just
Sort
off
of.
the top of your head there, but then you repurposed that concept.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of like a literal be sad about everything song.
Well, and I think that's one of the hallmarks of your brand, right? And you personally.
Shifting gears.
Well, is ideas, right? So
Wow, thank you.
You go back, going back to when you first got on YouTube all the way back in 2006, pretty much right around the same time. I think somebody pointed out, I saw on...
he researched me, Rory.
I saw on Twitter, a lot of research.
May 14th, 2006.
10 days.
Oh, my.
Approximately like 10 days.
We
difference
joined
between
YouTube.
us joining.
What? That's awesome.
Yeah. So you've been there for a long time.
Did we beat him by 10 days?
I think
or-
we were.
I think we were June.
You copied us.
No,
we copied you.
I think we were 10 days later.
Dude, I didn't make you. I knew about you guys way before I knew about myself.
But I want to come back to those early days and how you got to that point. But the thing I find really interesting is that you're an ideas guy. You have all these ideas for all these series and all the in the music videos and everything, and which is similar. We haven't seen nearly the success you have, but it's similar. Our brains work in a similar way. And when you do something, we're like, oh, I totally see why he thought that would work
that's
and that
so
kind of
great
thing.
because it's weird. Okay, meeting with people, you guys are ridiculously talented, and like meeting with other YouTubers that you respect a lot. It is kind of weird, especially to send you the song. I'm like, don't hate it. Like when I sent you the depressing song, I was like, watch it and. I keep seeing a person moving, and it's your spinny wheel, and it's not even moving. I know it's like one of those side eye tricks.
Yeah, it's the optical illusion we have set there to keep
Only
you on your
for me.
toes.
The wheel of mythicality is moving in your mind. Wow.
Maybe. But yeah, I mean, you guys' stuff is amazing. I have to say that.
And we'll take it. I think your point is...
my point is that a guy who is so known for his ideas and has seen so much success with your ideas, to think that today your gaming channel is your number one channel.
Yeah, we're talking,
I think-
6 million subscribers?
Yeah, I mean, I think view
And
wise,
5.5 million subscribers on your Tobuscus channel.
Yeah.
It may
So
not be the
it
place
passed
that
it.
it's not your ultimate creative outlet. I know that your Tobuscus channel is your creative outlet.
Yeah.
But like, how does that work? How are you?
Did you see it
It's hard to
coming?
judge. Well, I mean, I did. Well, when it started getting way more subscribers, and it's also a big part of YouTube is just having a good schedule, and I don't with Tobuscus. I mean, I do now. It's much better than it was. We're posting, I guess, every Tuesday and Thursday, and Friday we're having, I don't know, whatever. It's not that good, but it's better than it was.
You don't even want to say it yet because you
Friday
don't...
movie night. Yeah, exactly. No, we're doing movie nights every Friday, but I mean, everyone did those in Netflix movie nights for a while. And I wanted to try a Mystery Science Theater thing where I would just make jokes over just bad movies that people said were bad. And I'm like, I mean, if this is your movie, dude, it's great. I'm sure it's a great movie. Lots of people laugh because of it. But anyways. So yeah, Toby Games is a place for me to get idea to be. I think like while I'm playing, it doesn't look like it, but I do. And then like I write down ideas for songs and stuff that I make up in Minecraft. I think Minecraft is the most. It makes you feel creative because that's the whole point.
Yeah.
And I don't play it enough. I mean, what do you think of it?
Your channel
Our kids
or
are
Minecraft?
our kids are into it.
I mean, it's not a bad. I mean,
I am
think
starting to
when
get
you
into
have
it
to
now.
talk
And I'm
over
not
it,
saying that as,
No, I know.
to demean. I'm just saying that we're old.
it's different. Well, I mean, dude, come on. No, you're not. When you play the game and talk, you have to like your brain goes into overdrive because you're like, people are gonna get bored of this really fast. And so like you were, that was my first thing starting out is I didn't want people to get bored because I do, and so I wanted to entertain people like me that would have this same feel.
And your thought was, I'm going to do the Mystery Science Theater thing with video games.
A little bit, yeah.
Because you were playing video games, and
Yeah.
were other people creating like Let's Play channels
In the
at the
beginning?
time?
No, I mean there were Let's Plays, yeah, but there weren't. There were no comedy ones that I saw. I mean, I'm sure there were. I just
Right,
didn't
because yours
see
is
any.
July 2010.
Okay.
Is when you started that channel.
Sure. When I started like looking into it, everybody that that I saw was very serious about gaming, and I mean, like my whole life, I'm just like not like I like not being good because it's fun to like I don't want to play somebody that's going to kill me over and over and over. I want to play somebody that we're both kind of clunky, and like people are very serious.
And you saw it as a
now.
comedic outlet.
Yeah, it was a chance to be like, hey, it's okay to
thinking,
not be good at games and post videos about it. And it was a way that, I could just tell some jokes without having to like leave my house.
Well, the amazing thing is how well it has worked. And a lot of people try it who are not funny. You're funny naturally, so
right.
it works. But it's almost like, do you feel that you're partially responsible for this movement?
Dude, I can't. I mean, I feel like if someone didn't see someone else do it and they saw me and, it makes them laugh, I think, yeah, it makes you want to do it also. But I just don't watch a lot of YouTube videos for a YouTuber just because I'm so, like, I'm always like, I need to get this next idea out. I have this freaking thing driving me. It drives me crazy. But it's fun, and that's how I make my favorite stuff. So, I mean, hopefully I got some people into it because I think it's an amazing thing to do. I think it's really good for you.
Did you see it coming whenever you started to create these and you're like, yeah, okay, I know how I can be funny. I see the challenge in talking, keeping the chatter up and finding humor in these ways.
And knowing when you're talking too much. And I sometimes I know, like, I'm like, shut up, and so I try to balance it. It's good. I think it's a good exercise. And it's like a nice, it's like improv every day.
Did you see it? Did you have the foresight when you started? It started clicking in your mind that this was going to take over YouTube as the video game Let's Play phenomenon.
No, I guess not. I mean, once Toby Games, started get like every day I would post a video and I would expect it to get thousands of views. I'm like, this is gonna end up being better than Tobuscus, like in terms of more people it'll reach more people. But it's not. It's good for me to play games. It makes me feel like I'm not wasting time because I want to share because I used to play games with my brother, and we would just freaking make jokes and make each other laugh the whole time, and that's what I wanted to go for this. I didn't really see it taking over, and I think it's great because it's nice. It's like a way to. It's a certain thing, but it's not like I still think music for me is how I really like speak the most freely. I'm more proud of my music stuff.
If you had to give up one or the other, if you had to, you would give up.
I mean, I would do music definitely. I love music. It's my favorite. But gaming is freaking awesome.
Now, is there less money in game? I don't know if there all of a sudden was some sort of revenue split now that you don't make as much money off of gaming because because of the video game owners. Now get a cut of the money?
I don't pay attention. I haven't looked at any of my anything for like a year. I can't. Because as soon as you look at it, you're like, it's not about that,
Got it.
But I should. I'm not smart. But I honestly don't know. I don't know. I had whatever. It's we've these networks and things. I jumped from network to network a couple times just because I want to see like what's the hype and meet everybody and work with everybody. I'm not really I don't know as much about it as like so Olga would always she's so interested in a couple things. Olga, she's awesome, and she would kind of give me advice on that and
the business aspect.
Yeah. But in terms of, I mean, I do a lot of I do as many sponsorships as I can because I feel like they are like a class project, and that's kind of why I really got into doing sketches because I wanted to make funny commercials because commercials are can be so funny or they suck. Yeah. So like I'd rather be making stuff that I think is awesome.
So you saw the business model in that,
yeah,
but with the video gaming and the ins and outs of things that are kind of out of your control, what cut you get of it, that's not really your thing to dig into it.
I mean, if it goes away, then it goes away. I just want to do it just because I want to, entertain myself and whoever wants to listen. And it's also cool for me it helps me make songs and it's fun. Like Minecraft is freaking fun to sing songs. We have another song also. By we, I mean myself. I have such a big ego that
the royal we.
But it's Mind the Diamond. I never sent that to you, did I? Terabright made the freaking guitar. It's about time that I find a diamond. It's about time that I mine a diamond. It's way too intense.
Is that out yet?
No.
Yet?
No,
Okay.
no,
Wow.
3 weeks.
Your songs all have this consistent energy to them that is, how would you describe it? What genre is the Tobuscus songs?
I think I listen. Oh, I mean, it's like a rock when it shouldn't be. That's kind of what I like.
Well, I like and your melodies too. I like the way they don 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 don. It's
intense.
And it's
like
they're
something's
driving.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's. I think that's just my natural beat that I just have.
Well,
There's
but
also a chord that I always use on piano, and I don't know what it's called, but like for some reason that's what I always draw to. Like the dramatic song, the da na 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 na. Like that's the same chord as most of them.
But did you? I mean, I know you can't anticipate some of this stuff, but when I go back home, my nephews.
Back to North Carolina.
Yeah, go to North Carolina. My nephews are huge fans of yours,
Aw.
and it's just like I feel like there's something in the melodic choices,
Maybe.
your natural rhythm and your natural melody that somehow speaks to the heart of a 13-year-old boy in some magnificent way. It's
Can you describe it? Can you quantify it?
yeah.
I've been trying to quantify it. I think once you
it's
attempt to
scientific,
quantify,
man. It's scientific. I'm telling you that there's somebody out there who could explain how your choices
did a
connect
lot-
to the mind of a 13-year-old boy.
Yeah, I started learning piano when I was like, I took piano lessons like my whole childhood until I was like 14 or something like around there, and I think that and listen like. I only wanted to learn the really difficult freaking stuff that would take me all summer, and I would just not go outside for a while. So I learned a couple of really hard songs.
Like what?
Moonlight's Not a Third.
Oh.
Which is the it's a and I could learn. I learned like the first 7 minutes of the song or something. It's a long song, but now I can't. It's not. I haven't practiced it.
So what was?
Anyway, that I feel like that helped me get in the musical thing. Like when you're young, it's so important to freaking play piano.
And now when you play, you think you're channeling your inner 13-year-old?
Possibly.
Maybe that's it. Maybe because you said you stopped playing for a while.
Yeah.
And then you came back to the piano.
Yeah, I
picked up where your 13-year-old left off.
And I'm stuck there in limbo.
Okay, and that's and embrace it. So why did you choose? Why was that your approach to piano? At what age were we talking? You were playing the Moonlight Sonata. Was it an entertainment thing? Like, if I can learn to play this will just rock the crowd.
Yeah, I mean, I think my family, like, I wanted to like my mom liked listening to my piano stuff all the time, and she, like, I would impress her so much by like learning Pocahontas, which is, wonderful. But I'm like, well, check this out. And then I would just like practice for so long and then, impress her and she'd go crazy. She's adorable. We recorded I recorded a video of her watching Depressing Song, actually. It's hilarious.
Really?
It's so funny.
What was it like growing up? You grew up. You grew up in Florida mostly, right?
Yeah, Niceville. I was born in Mississippi, in Macomb. So was Snoop Dogg.
Where in Mississippi?
In Macomb. Macomb.
And then when did you move to Niceville, Florida?
6 weeks of Macomb. I was like, I'm done. And I moved.
So you don't
out,
remember much about Macomb.
And I blocked it out. No, but yeah, we were Air Force. I mean, I wasn't in the Air Force at the time, or ever. But so we got stationed.
Newborn pilot. So your dad or your mom?
Dad.
Okay. In the Air Force. What did he do in the Air Force?
I don't know. It's classified.
Really?
I don't know. I've never asked.
Oh, yeah?
I assume it's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah. So then,
Is your dad still around?
Yeah. He's in Vegas now.
Okay, but he's not in the Air Force
Not
anymore.
forcing the air
Okay.
anymore.
And not forcing the air at all.
So did you grow up with both parents?
Yeah. It was them and my brother, my sister, and then my niece happened, and then she started getting all the presents for Christmas. And
Your niece lived with you?
Yeah. We all lived together in this wonderful abode in Niceville, which I'm sure is now burned down as like a meth house or something. But
And what was the?
I'm just kidding. Niceville is not really, but right outside of Niceville, you would see houses that were like had exploded.
Yeah,
It's
outside
kinda crazy.
in Badville.
I mean, because
Or
there's
in
right across the river. We throw stones.
when
They
their
throw
name is
stones.
Niceville, there's a lot of pressure, I guess.
Yeah.
But,
It is.
I mean, what was the family dynamic like? Was this a family that is constantly trying to crack each other up?
Yeah, we're all messing around. It was fun.
And you're the youngest? Middle?
Yeah. I'm the youngest, and then my niece is now the youngest because we're close. But so yeah, we would we freaking play video games. That was all the time. We started out on PC. My brother got me into PC gaming. I played Doom and Duke Nukem 3D and Ultima Online and Warcraft 1 and 2 and 3 and all that in that period. Wolfenstein, and I became good. So actually, it was kind of when people started playing with mice instead of just using keyboards, and there was actually a lot of backlash against that. I think people played Doom used the keyboard, like, no, dude, it's stupid to use the mouse. And I would kill all of them. It was wonderful, and I was probably, I don't know how old I was, like very young to be murdering everyone, but
it
worked out.
Personality-wise, how would you describe your parents and your siblings? Were they like you? I can't imagine having a house full of people that had as much
like you.
Good question.
Energy, comedic energy as you have. Can a house contain that?
No, we went outside sometimes, but they're all they're great. They just had a really just nice, happy energy, and I didn't get grounded a lot. I think I got grounded once for accidentally driving to my neighbor's lawn when I was like 8.
And what?
You drove a car at 8?
I wanted to figure out why the car was moving around. So my mom and dad took the groceries into the house, and I put it into reverse. And we just kind of rolled backwards, and I panicked, and I just hid under the seat until this car stopped moving.
Until it ran into the neighbor's house.
Yes, in their garden. It was great.
So you got punished for that, but...
Not often, yeah. But my mom had a daycare also. My mom had a daycare, so there were always kids around, and so it was kind of a playful environment until I was like maybe 9. And then, anyways, I was mad young.
So you were in the daycare...
I was in the
daycare
teaching the other kids about PC gaming.
Use the mouse, kid.
Yeah.
Did you get in trouble a lot?
Not until high school. And I started all the time because it was just joke. I was just, trying to make people laugh.
And that was getting in trouble with the authorities at high school, the teachers, the principal.
Some of the teachers. My physics teacher, this is awesome. Okay, don't do this, but so I sat next to my friend, Ibrahim Muhammad is his name, and he's a very, very smart guy for a physics test. And I knew what I was doing. I was doing it good, but I made so many jokes in the class. I felt like he was lowering my grade on purpose, just because it said my name on it, and whatever. You always have that kind of paranoia. But so I copied his test exactly.
As a test,
which is exactly, which was very dangerous. But and then I got a 70, and he got 110. Yeah, and so I was like, why did I get a 70 here? He's like, well, he sounded like Kermit the Frog. He's like, well, obviously you didn't show your work at this part, and I'm like, look at this. So I grabbed his test. I'm like, I copied his test.
Oh, wow.
And then he sent me to the office.
And that was, did anything change after that?
No.
You still got...
the 70 turned into a 0.
Right.
No, actually it didn't. I think he left it, which is weird. But anyway.
But you kind of proved the point. So the principal wasn't on your side.
No, I'm like, they're the same, right? But it's difficult to read Ibrahim's writing. Very difficult. And I learned how to do it. I had to do this. So I had to show him no, this is a B, dude. This is a B squared. And, I walked him through it, and he's like, you need to work this out with your teacher.
You're there making your case. No, I cheated.
Yeah, but I needed to do it.
So you made all these jokes. You're the class clown.
And SGA president.
What president?
SGA president.
Student Government Association.
Yeah.
So you were...
I never actually did anything with the student government, but I ran for it because we all got to make a video.
Yeah, we're familiar with this. Yes.
So we had to make speeches, not videos, but that's the only reason we ran.
Yeah,
that's cool.
To have the audience.
You get to speak in front of the whole school.
So you wanted to make a video.
Mm-hmm. So we made a video for the morning news, and I did this thing, and I was like, if I get elected, I'm going to make there be no more ketchup packets because... As you know, there's not enough ketchup. There's maybe enough for one French fry. Sometimes there's none in there sometimes because there's some kind of error in the thing. So just give us a pump ketchup, okay? And also, a boys' bathroom, we need dividers between the urinals.
Yes.
Or else they're not usable. And so that was my I didn't do either one of those things. But that was
you
my
got
campaign.
elected. That was your platform.
Yeah.
Platform.
All I tried to do was get a parking spot, and I failed.
Pump, ketchup, and
Yep.
okay.
That's
The dividers are important.
Yeah, there's
Very important. Yeah, I won't
Can
use a
you-
urinal next to another urinal.
Do you get stage fright when
using urinals.
at like an airport
stage.
with no dividers?
Well, I mean, I wait. I don't want to make somebody feel like I'm encroaching on their crotch.
What about the trough? Have you been to like an
Yeah.
old school like gymnasium that has a trough?
I mean, it's got a little fun. That's fun. It's like, hey, horses do this with their mouths, though.
So you don't get stage fright at that point because you're excited about the horse experience.
Exactly.
okay, so you went off to college and majored in some sort of communications. What was it?
Mhm. Yeah, I ended up on telecommunications. I started out microbiology. And I'm like, this sucks.
And where was it? Where was school?
University of Florida.
You started out in microbiology.
Gators.
How did you get?
I was going to be a dentist because my mom was like, you have really nice teeth. You should be a dentist. I'm like, I had braces.
Really?
Yeah.
That was the rationale?
I mean, yeah, I was like, I'll go with this for a while. I had a scholarship, and I was like, I'll go learn some stuff. And then
you had made really good grades in high school, I guess.
Yeah,
you got
yeah.
a scholarship.
yeah, and then I figured out, I like joking around, and then started majoring in microbiology, and that's not a major to do.
How long did it take you to figure out that wasn't?
I mean, a
Your deal.
year. I mean, not long. And then I switched to psychology, and then for not long at all, and then telecom, because I mean, that's the easiest one. And there's a class where you make a video, one at the end of the entire thing.
Okay, so you're
sure it's better now.
you're a guy who was doing all these things to be the center of attention.
Of course.
And we can totally relate to that. Interestingly, I mean, I think there's some interesting parallels here because, we ran for student body president and vice president or whatever, tried to be able to speak to the whole school, and we wanted to be entertainers, but then we went and majored in engineering.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, and I think for us it was because we're in North Carolina.
Performing
right?
wasn't an option.
Like, we don't know anything about Hollywood. We don't know anything about California. You can't be an entertainer full time. I could not name one person that I knew.
So you went and did you get a degree?
And did engineering for a while.
Jeez, that's horrible.
I mean, in fairness, well, I mean, we wanted to go to film school, but Rhett's dad said, I'm not paying for that. That's not responsible.
Brett's dad paid for both of your guys' degrees.
So he didn't pay for mine, no. But I was going to kind of go wherever Rhett went because we were friends, and hey, we both want to be filmmakers. If he
that's
can't
cool.
do it, then I'll just do
That's
whatever
awesome.
you do, I guess. You guys are both good at math and science. You should be engineers.
Right.
Okay, because
Right,
at
it's
that
the
age, you don't
practical.
know.
Yeah, your parents tell you to be successful.
Yeah, and the
basically.
counselor says that. The parents say do something responsible that kind of connects the dots. It's not really about tapping into your passion. It's just, okay,
Yeah.
this is what you should do. Okay, this is what everybody's saying. We'll be going to engineering.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you changed to communications, was it because you had something in mind that you wanted to do, or is it that you knew you did not want to do?
It's that I wanted more free time while I was getting a degree in whatever.
Right.
Because I figured out I'm not going to specialize in something right now. Let me just use up this scholarship money for as long as I possibly can and figure something out. So it was about I basically was just being lazy as long as I could until something just fell on me, and that's kind of what happened.
And now in retrospect, you can see, okay, I ran for SGA as because I got to make a video. I started taking these courses in college because I got to make a video.
Exactly.
And were you making lots of videos like in your spare time in high school and college?
I mean, I would make some, but I'm really good when I have a deadline or when it's a project. And I made this video called Tag for one of my classes, which is I love it. It's one of my favorite videos. It's this guy. He has a rainbow fanny pack and he just like runs around and has magic powers in it.
As they all do.
Of course. I love that. And then I made this other one called Candy Planet that I animated in After Effects, which took forever, but it was
Candy Planet?
Yeah, Candy Planet.
This is in
Candy
college.
Planet. Yeah, in college. It was like maybe my last semester.
What happens on Candy Planet?
Well, it's just about a world where... In a world where carbon is sugar, carbon-based life is candy. Welcome to Candy Planet. And so, there would be these gummy bear people, and they adopted a golden gram. And
Little racist?
well, no, it was just a little Angelina Jolie or something at the
Okay.
time. But but it was to call whatever. my first girlfriend was black. So if I dated for 3 years, I can do whatever I want.
Well,
Anyways.
let's talk about her
Oh,
instead.
no.
When was this?
I had a black girlfriend one time.
Oh.
Yeah, Link never did. We're in the club. Yeah.
We high-fived just now.
They just.
Is that more racist? Listen.
What was her name?
I'm not.
Yes, high-fiving
I'm
over
not.
having a black girlfriend is racist.
I'm not.
It negates the having of the girlfriend when you high-five a white guy about it. What was her name?
Andrea. See Andrea.
And when was this? In college?
It was high school.
Wow, you
Yeah,
got started
high school.
early.
Now,
Yeah,
in Niceville, Florida, if you date a black girl in high school, what happens to you?
I mean, I was, here's how I actually met her. So, I was invited to go shoot a video with some people. And, oh man, I'd love to freaking see it now. It was a long time ago. This girl, Vicky, invited me to shoot a video. I was like, oh, that sounds awesome. I don't have a camera. I'll do anything. It's great. So we go over and, it was a class project. And she wrote it out. I'm like, this isn't funny. I'm going to rewrite it. She's like, you're not in the class. I'm like, I'm just going to do it anyway. So I took my part and changed it and made, stretched it out. And
You made yourself the star.
of course. And then it was awesome. And then I met her and I made her laugh a lot. She had a great laugh. And then we just, started dating.
Did you write in a kiss at the end of the thing?
I did not. I don't know. When did I kiss a girl first? It was like 10th grade or 11th grade.
Well, that would have been around the same time, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Sure. So let's say 10th grade.
3 years, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Is that your longest relationship ever?
Nope. They're always like longer-ish. So, okay, her, 3 years. Next one was like 2.5. Next one was 3. Next one was 3.
And they were all black
almost
girls?
12. No.
Well, the reason why I ask if
That
there was
would be
any
racist.
controversy, in Florida, I guess this is later than when we're older than you. So you got parts of Florida are the South, and in parts of the South, at a certain point, you couldn't. They said, well, you shouldn't date some. White people should date white people.
Well,
was that
okay,
an
yeah.
issue?
Well, for who?
For you, not for you, for the. For
no, I never.
your parents
nobody
or people
ever-
in the community.
No, I never got any like weirdness about it. I was just like, I don't care. So like, just take it. And then I was just always very adamant about how much that sucks that people would discriminate against each other. And so I was very, but I liked her, and that's why.
It was pretty simple for you.
Yeah. And I didn't get it. I didn't get the whole even though I was because my family is pretty awesome and they're very accepting. So yeah. I never got any like weird flack about it, and I've never really seen any like racism at my my high school, which is kind of cool.
Right.
But being from Mississippi and being so close to that area where it is kind of weird. It's
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Mississippi would have been a little bit different.
yeah.
So back to college. I kind of derailed you from the college experience. You were kind of discovering your creative DNA. It sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
Is that when it happened?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what I could do to get a bunch of views, and because I wanted to.
Because you were making videos.
Yeah, I was
while skipping through different majors.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, on the side, I was making videos, and whenever it became a class assignment, it became like those were the really good ones, and I wanted to always get class assignments, and that's kind of what the sponsored things turned into. They're like, Toby, you need this by this point, and it needs to be brand friendly and all that. I'm like, awesome, let's freaking make this great, and I need more of those. I need those deadlines. But so, what were you saying?
Well, there's this transition from being a guy in college who was kind of discovering that he was creative and he wanted to be creative. You graduate and then what do you do?
Yeah, when I graduated from college, I went back home, lived with my parents for a little bit, for like a couple months, and then my friend Adam, who we actually shot a movie on my camera, so he knew I had this camera, DVX100B, which my mom took out a loan to buy, which is awesome. Because she just, at some point I was like, I really, really want to do this. And then so I pulled her away from the idea of like wanting me to be a dentist.
And what year was this?
Who knows? I would say I got the camera. I mean, it was in college. So like, dude, I have no idea. I'm the worst.
But
when was it? 2000 something.
But this is pre-YouTube.
A little bit, yeah.
So like
Good
04.
point. So I did a lot of, okay. Was it pre-YouTube that I made videos? No, I didn't really make any edited videos pre-YouTube. Nope.
But so you got...
I got started on Metacafe and YouTube, but like Metacafe because I saw that they paid. And I was like, "This is awesome! If you get a million views."
So when did you when did you graduate from college? What year was that?
07.
07-ish.
Yeah.
Okay.
That adds up. With the 2006, you you joined YouTube, and your mom. At some point, you have this conversation with your mom. You're saying, I really want to do this. And she takes out a loan to buy you a camera.
For Christmas. Because like she, just really wanted to show that, or everybody, the family just wanted to really support me. And
what was this? Like when you said, I really want to do this, what did you say that led to?
Acting. I was like, I'm going to do a thing and I'll become an actor and it'll be great. And then she's like, "Oh, you'd be such a great actor." And then so she got me a camera. And then my brother and sister were probably like, "Oh, great, Toby gets the freaking awesome camera." But they were always really nice and supportive about it. But I felt, it's got to be a little weird. But she really did. Like I went to college. I was the good kid.
I think certainly a lot of people we've talked to on Ear
Not
Biscuits,
that they were bad.
When we kind of hear their story, a lot of people come from I got the first camera I got my hands on, I was doing this, that, and the other, and I was developing. And it was almost like as a director first. I find it interesting that you say, well, Mom, I want to do this. I want to be an actor, so I need a camera. It was, that's not what you typically hear. And you hear, I want to be a director, or, because if you want to be an actor, well, you could just go to Hollywood or go to your local theater, even in Florida, and start auditioning or something like that.
I felt like that was not going to go up into something else. So I'd rather just do it on the internet where anyone in the world could see it.
So you wanted to be an actor, but you made an immediate connection to this YouTube internet video thing that was happening.
Yeah. So it just kind of started, and then I at some point, some of my friends showed me some Smosh videos, and I'm like, these guys they're freaking editing these comedy sketches. You do it one time, and it's up forever, and it can get as many views as it ever gets, and that was just a huge, compelling thing for me. And so I wanted to figure out how to make a video that they would send to someone else, basically.
Yeah.
And it's fun. Like I love doing it.
But your mom gives you this camera. You've graduated from college.
Yeah.
And what do you actually do? You said you only lived at home for a couple of months.
Well, I had the camera before I graduated.
Okay.
So I had the camera in college for a while, and then I started to make these edited videos with my classmates. And actually, one of the videos was with Andrew Meyer, who's the Don't Taze Me Bro guy. And that's random. So he was in my classes, and I remixed him getting tased like the day of. And and also I made a T-shirt on a Cafe Press, I think, that same day, and put it in the ending of the Don't Taze Me Bro remix. So I like in one day, he's like, "What'd you just do? You just made a shirt, and you're selling what I said on it." He's really nice
because that was all over the news.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, I want to jump on this. Like, I need to do something.
News clip went viral on YouTube.
Yeah, they showed it on I think Colbert Report and all that.
And so then you remixed it into a song, but you had the foresight. I mean, because Smosh was selling T-shirts, I
don't know. I was trying to figure out how to make the money back for the camera that my mom bought, and also loans, because I started taking out loans. I'm like, hopefully I'll figure out a job thing at some point, but maybe I could just get so many views that maybe a company would want to pay me to do it. So that was like one of the first thoughts I had on YouTube, is that I could get a commercial, make a commercial. If it gets enough views, then someday a company would want to like pay for it.
So you never had to get a real job?
Well, I did actually. So when I moved to LA, so my friend Adam, he borrowed my camera and shot this movie New Low, which I think is on Netflix now, and it's in a couple places. And then went to Sundance, which is awesome for the indie or low budget. So I got there and got like free actor swag. It was amazing. But
you were the lead in that?
He was the lead. I was the second. But it was really fun just to do and like see all the stuff and just be part of that process. And actually, all the people that worked on the movie are now in LA, and like most of them work with me on my stuff now. So like we have, it's fun. Like, and we're still figuring it out, but it's coming together so much better.
Let me ask you one thing. Just take a quick step back. So you talk about your mom buying this camera for you. Obviously, such a pivotal moment. That's the camera that your friend shot the movie that made it to Sundance.
Yeah.
and you and him he was the lead, you were in it.
Yeah, he wrote it and,
Wow.
edited it and everything. And he just borrowed my camera. I'm like, yeah, you can borrow it if I can act in it.
So the "Don't Taze Me Bro" thing was kind of a proof of concept for you to I can sell T-shirts. This can work.
Yeah.
How big did that get?
I mean, I don't know what it's up to. I think it got 1 million views. It maybe got like 800,000 views in the first week, and it took a while to get to 1 million, or did eventually. And the shirts, I think I sold 1,000 or 2,000 of them, and I was getting $2 per shirt. So that was like $4,000, and this is awesome. But I'm like, why don't I just print it myself and buy them in bulk if I know a phrase is going to be that popular? But there were no like. Cafe Press was the printing on demand, the only one, and now there's more competition, and now they're cool. I use Spreadshirt now. I don't know what you guys do it yourself. What do you do?
DFTBA. They have
Oh
shirts.
yeah, they're great.
So take us through the steps. What happened after you started to see that success and moved out of the house? Did the Sundance thing?
Okay, so I got a job when my friend was Adam Bowers was like, you want to move to LA tomorrow? And I'm like, yes. So literally, it was like tomorrow. Pretty hilarious. But I mean, he'd been talking about it for a while. But he's like, yeah, we're just going to do it tomorrow. And then I'm like, all right, let's do it. Because my job that I had just gotten off Craigslist was a search engine optimization job, which has helped me a lot. So I never even met my boss from that job, but it was like $500
You could move anywhere and do that.
Yeah, exactly.
So you kept that job, moved to LA.
Yep.
And it's not like there were all these YouTubers in LA yet. Were there? They were starting to be. Is this 2010?
Yeah, they were just starting to be. Yeah. Well, yeah. But I wanted to go on auditions and stuff like that.
So were you going? Did you take the traditional actor route as like plan A?
I don't know. I mean, a little bit. Like I kind of thought if I made the best video ever that actually showed me acting, I would possibly get cast in something or get representation and maybe do commercials or whatever. But I also, hoped that I could get my videos like popular enough to make that be my job. So that I could get all the stuff I have written since high school. I still have so many things that I still think are funny that I haven't done yet.
Right. Well, and I think that's something I want to talk about is, you have gotten so prolific on YouTube. I think you're the only person with 2 channels in the top 50 most subscribed.
Really? No way. That's awesome.
And
YouTuber, I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, you are, you just got so much content coming out. So much of it is successful. It continues to grow. You're not like a lot of people who got kind of started at the same time that we did, that saw a peak a few years ago and they're struggling on their channel. No, you've still got great ideas. You're still getting traction. Your audience is still growing. How do you have a life?
It's hard. I mean, I definitely, it's a thing that I now actively pursue is like friendship. Cause it's important, it's important to be there for people and it's important to like, let them be there for you sometimes. And it's also, it's good to know good people and keep them in your life. And that is something that I definitely like, I would only spend time with my girlfriend. Like, that was it. Because I'm working all the time, and we live together too. Like I live together with like pretty much, two girlfriends in a row for 3 years each. We live together
In
because
succession.
it's cheaper. Yeah,
they
basically.
typically don't like to live together.
No, it was all at the same time. It's great. Yeah, so I don't know like how that kind of fell into place just because it was cheaper and like we got along really really well and I was making jokes. And I just like to date people with really good laugh.
Well, at some point or points in there, you also dated people who were YouTubers.
Maybe.
And maybe was there a strategy in that? Well, okay, we can work together and be...
I'm not sure what I can... is that public knowledge? I know Olga is.
Okay, so you dated Olga and
the other one. But...
the other high profile...
Maybe,
potentially...
Yes. So
that's not public knowledge?
I don't know. I mean, we never talked about it, right? It's a weird thing because it's there's this.
Can we make it public knowledge now?
I mean,
it's over now.
Probably ask her, right? I don't know.
I got it.
Really?
I'm just really
knew about that, man. People
I
knew
know,
about that.
Dude. I didn't hide that we spent like all the time together.
Yeah, she was in your. I mean, I was looking through vlogs, and she's in the vlogs. So everybody already
I
knows. They
don't
can
know why it
piece
turned
together.
into feeling like I just wanted to be, respectful and like have her like say it,
Well,
And,
how long were you dating?
a while.
You said you dated everyone for 3 years.
No, it wasn't that much. It was only 6 months.
So in the 6-month period, there wasn't this conversation of, okay, we're gonna vlog together, but we're never gonna say that we're in a dating relationship. Like you didn't have that conversation.
No, we did. We just, I think, I don't really remember why it was like that, but it was a weird thing because it's like, do you feel more valuable if you're single? And so that was, well, I'm not sure whose head that went through.
Did you ask that question? You just thought that question.
Maybe I just thought, I don't know. I mean, I didn't care. But it is a thing where it's like you are a person, but you're also a business, and your business, what's going to happen to that? Is it going to be good? Because here's my first thing is if someone knows that I have a girlfriend who it is, that's weird sometimes. Like, because, people can make them uncomfortable, and then it turns it into a performance.
Mm-hmm.
Your relationship is a performance. And so, and we vlog together all the time. But, it was kind of, we just try to keep that thing private, I guess. It's weird. It's a weird thing to even think about.
But with Olga, it was not, she didn't care and you didn't mind, so it was more public.
I mean, yeah. It didn't matter.
How long did you guys date?
I think like 8 months. I'm so bad with time.
8 months-ish.
Yeah, I'm horrible with time knowledge.
Are you still friends with?
Yeah. Well, I don't.
Both of them.
I talk to Olga more, but I'm equally. We're on good terms, but it's just busy. People are busy. We're everybody we know.
You date anybody now?
No. I sort of was for a while, and it's tough. It's tough to get that because you have to. I'm doing so many different things at once that if all of a sudden I miss, we're supposed to go to a movie or something, and I'm like, this is funny. 15 minutes late because I was stuck at a charity event, which sounds so horrible, but I mean, obviously
Stuck
it's not
at a charity.
just that. You know what I mean? It's not just, it's a buildup of that, but that happened to be like a pivotal moment, which is very funny. But and then it turns into
it's always
like
tough when charity's involved.
I know.
Like, are you more important than charity? Of course you are, baby. But it's charity.
It's the word. I know.
It's charity.
Like I said that and it didn't work. But anyways,
and that was it. That's what killed it.
I mean, that was maybe spurred I think that was the moment of like, she doesn't think I'm ever going to be there for her, because I have so much stuff I freaking do. But the video game that we've been working on that, has to be good. It takes a lot of time. And, I didn't realize how much, and it's fine because I love it, but like how much work it takes to make a freaking video game.
I understand. I mean, especially when you've raised $644,000 to make it, and everyone knows exactly how much money there is.
That is a little strange. But it's also, they don't know how much it costs to ship it out. I forget what the game actually ended up costing, but we're over budget.
But that's
right.
not we're talking about. But that's not the point because we're talking about love life.
Yes,
I think the interesting thing is your point is you're very busy. You have a lot of demands on yourself professionally because we know the feeling. You're at a crucial point in
everybody
in a medium where you've got to continue to invent yourself really and make it happen. And you just make this statement. Support everybody. That's on your team. You're talking. You now have the ability. You have the pressure of being a successful business. So my question is, I guess you're saying it's hard to have time for a relationship, but is there also this aspect of it is it difficult to turn off? I guess I'm curious for you as a natural entertainer, like in all of our
that's just what I do.
In all of our interactions, we don't just hang out. And sure, there's even microphones here right now, and there are always cameras around when we're together. So, are there people in your lives when you're just like with your girlfriend, with your friends, that you are able to turn off?
As soon as they turn off, they turn back on. You know what I mean? Like as soon as I'm not recording something, I say something that's way funnier because I don't have that. Ooh, I'm trying to get the angle because I hold whatever, and then I'm like, nah, I got to record this.
So you feel? There's no switch for you to turn off the entertainer.
Sure. There is. But I like to hear. I like to make my friends laugh. And as soon as I do, I'm like, I think that was a funny joke. I'm gonna put that in something. So it's as soon as I'm done with my work, I have to, manage juggling, like, what jokes did I just say just hanging out? Like, what do I write down? What can I put that into? And then which ones deserve the time that it would take to make it?
And do you think that's going to be the rest of your life? I mean,
I hopefully I'll have a team of lots of people that will just help me put together every single project.
So you can turn off and be a real person. I would think it impacts I mean. I don't mean to say you're not a real person, but
I really get along, so I spend most of the time. So, like I said, I was trying to work on more of my friends that I really do get along with. And there are people that, I just love. They're amazing people. But I don't give them as much of me as I do to the business. Because right now I'm trying to grow a couple different things. I'm trying to do the video game, and I'm trying to, I got into a bunch of projects at once. We started a podcast also last week because I need a weekly thing on Tobuscus that people can look forward to, because that's always been my problem. I had Q and Fail for a while, and that was fun. But I don't want to always do a literal or whatever. I want to always be like, hey, here we are. Let's hang out. This is fun. And I like that idea. So
right, but see, I even in the way that you answer questions with us here on Ear Biscuits, is you're so focused on ideas. You have so many ideas. You are always thinking about strategy. You're always thinking about how you can turn something that you have a natural disposition towards that, and that's why that's one of the many reasons you're so successful. But if I ask you a question about when are you going to find time for yourself, you start to answer that, and then you answer a question about new content.
Yeah.
So
that's just my natural
right.
thing.
And I think about like the two of us who have we think in similar ways, right? So there's so much about the way that your ideas come together that we can relate to. But we started all this while we already had families, so we have this natural balancing mechanism that I can't, neglecting a girlfriend is one thing. Neglecting a wife and children, you can't do that, right? So I couldn't go home. So we have this thing where we got to get home every night except for like one night a week. We don't usually work on weekends and that kind of thing. And so
that's cool. I think it's okay.
You don't have that balancing mechanism in your life.
Well, that's true. Well, true, but to an extent. So, you saying that, you don't work on weekends, you don't work at certain times, that's great. That's a healthy thing to get into. And like me, exactly what I'm saying with the schedule, if you have to be done by 7, I do it. But if I don't have to, and that there has to be a real thing that has to fight. Like I try to get people to trick me into like, you need this by 7, Toby. And I'm like, oh no. And I panic and I get it done in like, then a minute. Cause it's simple. Like you do voiceover sometimes, but I build up in my head and I go on so many freaking tangents. But if you have that, then I think that's good for you. And then, you can have free time. But, so I would go to these fun things. Like we would go horseback riding, me and my girlfriend a long time ago, or wherever. And as soon as, we'll be doing, I'm like, this is kind of cool. Like, there's some people that can't go horse riding. It'd be cool to show this, you know what I mean? So everything I wanted to, I just want to share it with people. And it like it's kind of annoying sometimes if you don't live in the YouTube world. That's why dating YouTube people is fun.
When you have two people who have that mentality.
Yeah, I think it's fun.
Things can get crazy though, right?
I mean, maybe, but it was a lot of fun. Like, cause I have to do my vlog. She'd have to do her vlog. We would also we would think of like a funny little sketch we could do, and we would individually be working on something, and that energy's in the air, and then you just live in it. I love it.
And so now you're at a place where you've got all these ideas, you got the other projects, longer term things that you want to see come to fruition, and you've got a team around you now, as opposed to just you and a couple of people working on everything, right?
Yeah. So I mean, the first thing that I did, first reason that I had to figure out business was because I had to basically move my mom out of Florida. Did I tell you this? She has a lung condition, and she got 6 months to live or whatever, and this was it was like a year or two ago.
I don't think we knew that. So a year ago, your mom was given 6 months to live?
Maybe it was like 2 years ago. But by a doctor that, he said there was nothing we could do. They lived in Florida, and there's tons of humidity. She just had this like lung thing. Anyways, and so I Googled it, and apparently being in a dry climate helps people sometimes, right? Because there's less places for bad mold and whatnot to grow. And so I had to quickly move everyone out to the West Coast. And so, they live out West Coast in the freaking desert now because that's the only way.
Everyone, your mom, who did you move out?
Mom, dad, niece, sister. Yeah. And my brother lives in Texas.
So you moved them to LA?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for a while, and then now Vegas, because LA is just stupid expensive. I wanted to have her close to me so I could see her all the time, but it's cheaper in Vegas.
Right.
And so that was a huge driving thing. So that was kind of like a sprint. It's like, that's why I'm like, I got to do this now. Dude, I always freaking cry when I talk about that. I didn't today. Maybe it's happened enough times. That's good. I'm growing.
So you moved them out to Vegas. I mean, how is she doing?
She's good. I mean, she's good. She's
What's the condition?
COPD. It's like a lung dealy. It's just hard for her to breathe sometimes. But I mean, she's awesome. She's the best freaking person. Like you watch any video with her and you can't just not love her. She's fantastic. And she's working with it so much better in the dry place. So it's makes me feel really good. But then there's also now that's happened, and I'm like, yay, that's good. All my friends that are extremely talented that got into jobs that I was like, well, you don't like doing that, do you? And then they of course they don't. And so I'm like, well, come out to LA, let's do some other stuff. And so I'm trying to get help my friends out wherever I can. Because and that's dangerous working with friends, because I don't ever want to tell them what to do, so I have to hire someone else to tell them what to do.
Right. And then, like you said, then there's a sense of responsibility that you have to support. You have to keep. You have to support these friends that are now your employees, and you've done your part to bring your family out here, to Vegas. So it seems like you got a lot of pressure there to remain successful.
It is
financially.
So you have to just learn how to put that aside and not think about it a little bit, and then they're smart, and we're it's nice. It's much better than what it was, because it used to be I all the time only ever work, and now it's like I'm getting to the point where I'm like, hey, do this, and then let me see if you can do it, and then I'll look at it later. I'm like, oh, try this, tweak this. It's a long process.
I respect you hearing your story, hearing the amount of responsibility that you have, and what you've accomplished, and developing your voice and everything you've done, and count you a friend and think you're an awesome guy. And we're glad to have heard the story here. So
yeah, and thanks for taking the time out of your crazy schedule,
dude,
to sit at the round table of dim lighting.
No problem.
And that is an Ear Biscuit with Toby Turner. A lot of you have been tweeting at us saying you got to get Tobuscus on Ear Biscuits, and it just happened.
We pinned him down for a little bit. We got him. I mean, the guy is all over the place. He's not only all over the place, literally always doing something, but his mind is all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that you guys got to experience the unadulterated Toby Turner along with us. I mean, sure, we'll ask a question and he'll start on an answer, and then he'll be flooded with other thoughts. And then, a couple of times it's like, what was the question? Because he's just, his creative faucet is full bore. I mean, for him to say the turning point was when I just said, I'm going to go quantity over quality. This is no normal person saying that. I mean, this is someone who is always at 11. So once that clicked in his mind, I mean, it makes sense that it's a turning point. I mean, there's certain people who could do that and it would just be a bunch of crap.
Right.
But the dude he's so talented. And I mean, when you turn the faucet all the way up, it's like people may not want to listen to this whole thing, but I can find the highlights of it. He's thinking about all aspects of it. But there's gold in there.
Well, I think that
and he created it all in front of his audience on the internet.
The thing that I learned about Toby tonight was, I'm not going to cry about it. Something's in my throat. The thing that I learned about Toby tonight was that is who he is authentically. I think we before he came in here, we talked about the fact that he's a performer. He's always on, and we always see him in a performance setting. So we were interested to see what it would be like to kind of sit down and talk to him for an hour, to ask him some personal questions.
Yeah, and to see if we could get, I don't quote, the other side of Toby or the real Toby, the Toby that would turn off. And I think his answer was,
the There is no off switch.
Right, there's no off switch for him. He said it himself.
There is no off switch because he is, even when he's doing something, horseback riding, for instance, he's thinking about the YouTube content that could come from horseback riding.
Right, he's spending time with his friends, and then
So
he
if you
comes
see
home
a
and
horseback riding,
he writes down all the
channel.
funny things.
right? So I think
Toby Horseback, that's his next channel probably.
that was very eye opening to me personally because when I kind of pointed this out a number of times during the Ear Biscuit that we have a similar approach to things. You know, he started at a similar time. He's trying to do all these different things. He does a lot of music. He does a lot of branded projects. There's a lot of things in common. Now, as I stated on the podcast, we haven't been nearly as successful as him. But me and you really, like, we only have so much energy. I think the thing about me and you is that we kind of run out. When we turn the faucet on, when we turn it up to 11, me and you kind of like start getting headaches and get tired.
It reduces to a trickle pretty quickly.
Right, you know, and to see somebody...
Oh no, is the well dry?
Yeah, to see somebody who you can turn it on, you can turn it up to 11, and it just keeps going. I mean, I think eventually he's going to have to slow down, and I think that he's putting some things in place with the team and that kind of thing, that he's not going to go insane. I think that's the one thing, too, that I noticed is I did not see somebody on the verge of mental breakdown by any means. I saw a guy who, this is his life, this is how he thinks, he's got more ideas than he has time to do, he gets off on it, he loves being creative, and he's not about to implode by any means. He's just going to keep being a prolific creator.
And, I mean, on top of that, there's a sense of responsibility. I love the story of his mom took out a loan to buy his first video camera so that he could pursue his dream of being an actor and an entertainer. And then he takes that camera and then builds a career so that he can relocate his family from Florida to Las Vegas for health reasons and basically rescue his mom. I mean, that's a beautiful story. And there's that sense of responsibility, you know, that is admirable, that it's not just he's this creator who can't help himself, but he's also a businessman who thinks very strategically about these things and always has. But he's also a family man who's trying to figure out, you know, how to help his mom and how to have a girlfriend who may or may not be a vlogger, you know?
Yeah, right. Well, you know what? I know I couldn't do it. I'm glad he's doing it, and he's doing it well.
And there's this sense that we've encapsulated a moment. The best Ear Biscuits, I feel like, are the ones that are like that, like this time capsule that, okay, this guy, the capsule is not being buried in this instance. This capsule is kind of being launched into another stratosphere. And that's what I feel like for this guy, to carry the cheesy capsule analogy.
You think we should have called the podcast Time Capsules with Rhett and Link?
Being launched into space.
Oh, okay.
That's what
Space capsules.
That's what Toby is. He's going somewhere.
So
we've captured this moment.
This is a space capsule version of an Ear Biscuit.
Yeah, I think it was.
You could put an Ear Biscuit in a space capsule. You know what? That could be like an experiment. We could start a Kickstarter. We could raise money to put a biscuit inside of a rocket that will go into orbit, see what kind of effects happen on the biscuit, bring it back down, and then sell it to the highest bidder who then has to eat it. That's the idea that I just came up with.
Wow. And
You even understand what I just said?
I kind of phased out somewhere in the middle, and then when I tuned back in, you were talking about somebody eating it, and I was like, how did that happen?
Well, that's been my plan all along, is that there will be an actual biscuit recipe that is like the official biscuit recipe of Ear Biscuits. And then we'll shoot it into space.
All right. Thanks for listening. Tweet at Toby at Toby Turner on Twitter and let him know what you thought.
And remember to support this show by leaving a review on iTunes and checking out our sponsor, Squarespace, the all-in-one platform that makes it fast and easy to create your own professional website or online portfolio. For a free trial and 10% off your first purchase, go to squarespace.com and use our offer code R&L.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back with another Ear Biscuit next Friday.